We are Pearsall ISD.
Now 6:31 p.m. Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. I call this meeting of the Pearsall Independent School Board of Trustees to order. We'll do a roll call. Myself, Matthew, is here. Mr. Van.
We come before you tonight, Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with grateful hearts, thanking you for your many blessings and for the opportunity to serve our students, staff, and community. We thank you, Jesus, for your guidance and faithfulness in all that we do. Lord, we ask that you grant us knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and discernment as we review and act upon each item on tonight's agenda. Help us to think clearly, listen carefully, integrity, compassion, as for our staff and our and congratulate those we are recognizing this evening. We thank you for their diligent work. We just to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several groups to recognize this month, but we will go ahead and begin with our campus student and staff of the month. So if our principals will come up and recognize their staff and student, please.
Okay, so Ted Flores Elementary would love to recognize our student of the month for February, Jose Munoz. Jose shines brightly in all he does. He follows directions, leads with kindness, and inspires his classmates through his effort and enthusiasm. Always eager to help and ready to learn, Jose shows what it truly means to be a Ted Flores Little Mav. Congratulations, Jose. We are so proud of you. It is with great excitement that we celebrate our Ted Flores Elementary Employee of the Month for February, Mercedes Ortiz. Mercedes is the heartbeat of TFE, a true powerhouse who keeps our campus running with excellence and joy. As our principal secretary, she handles every task with positivity, professionalism, and an incredible can-do spirit. Her organization, communication, and kindness set the tone for our entire school. We are deeply grateful for all she does for our staff, students, and families. Congratulations, Mercedes, on this well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Pearsall Intermediate would like to recognize Shelby Castillo as our Student of the Month. Shelby is a model student. She shows pride in her work and school activities daily. Shelby participates with enthusiasm and has excellent attendance. We are proud to have Shelby as our Student of the Month. For our Employee of the Month, Pearsall Intermediate would like to recognize Mr. Andres Valadez. Mr. Andres is our lead custodian and consistently goes above and beyond to ensure our campus is clean, safe, and welcoming for our students, staff, and families. In addition to his regular duties, he enjoys helping students at lunch duty and sets up for any extra events we have on campus. His strong work ethic, attention to detail, and willingness to help wherever needed makes a daily difference for our entire school community. Thank you so much.
An audience. The Student of the Week for PJH is Emily Gores. Emily is a creative thinker and shows motivation and strong desire to learn. She completes her assignments, participates in class, and always asks questions. She shows great character and sets a positive example in the classroom. The Employee of the Month is Miss Monique Vidrine. She is compassionate and dedicated to making a meaningful difference every single day. Through her hard work and special education support, she goes above and beyond to ensure every student feels welcomed. Our school family is stronger because of her unwavering belief in every child's potential. Thank you.
Good evening, board, Dr. Spohr, audience. Pearsall High School is proud to recognize Jason Jimenez as our February Student of the Month. Jason exemplifies what it means to be a maverick through his strong academic performance, dedication, and genuine desire to learn. He is respectful to teachers and peers, consistently demonstrating kindness, integrity, and a positive attitude. His commitment to excellence makes him truly deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, Jason. Our February Employee of the Month for Pearsall High School. Officer Benavides plays a key role in keeping our campus safe and welcoming. She conducts weekly door audits, patrols the parking lot, supports campus events, and maintains a strong, visible presence throughout the school day. Beyond safety, she builds positive relationships with students and staff and consistently demonstrates professionalism and care for our school community. Thank you, Officer Benavides, for your dedication to Pearsall High School. Congratulations on being our February Employee of the Month.
Good evening, Board. On behalf of the HR department, I want to take a moment to recognize our outstanding student worker, Anise Cantu, as our District Employee of the Month. As a senior this year, Anise has already shown the kind of professionalism, work ethic, and positive spirit that will take her far in whatever path she chooses. Whether she's assisting with preparing our monthly student and employee appreciation gifts or taking tasks beyond her assigned duties, Anise consistently goes above and beyond. We are so grateful for the dedication she brings to our team, and we are excited to see all the wonderful things her future has in store. Anise, thank you for being such an amazing worker and a valued part of our HR family.
Next up, we have our 6 weeks attendance award winners, and Mr. Martinez will present the belt.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, members of the board, Dr. Spohr, and members in attendance here this evening. For the 4-6 weeks, we have the attendance to report out here this evening. For our second and third place, we did have a tie for the campuses. So tie for second place, we did have the Ted Flores Elementary and Pearsall Junior High tie with a 90.8 percentage. So that means for the first time this school year, we do have a new attendance winner for the 6 weeks, and with a 92.6 percentage attendance for the 4-6 weeks, I am proud to recognize Pearsall Intermediate. And the championship belt goes to Miss Bates.
I'll wear it tomorrow.
Next, we have our recognition months. We had several groups who were recognized with appreciation, and we'll have Mr. Martinez present those, beginning with Counselor Appreciation Month.
Okay, at this time, I would like to invite all of our district counselors up to the front to be recognized at this time. If I could have all of our counselors in attendance this evening to step forward, please. Good evening, good evening. In recognition for National School Counseling Week, we would like to recognize all of our PISD counselors here. We understand the needs of our students and our staff. It takes a village, and our counselors are very integral parts of being able to support not only our students, but also our staff members and our community, working hand in hand with our parents and our community members. So the tireless work and effort does not go unnoticed, ladies, and we definitely appreciate everything that y'all are able to provide for our students, our staff, and our community. In recognition, we would like to recognize you here as a part of National School Counseling Week. Thank you very much. Our staff members from our central office in the Business and Operations Department, can you please step forward at this time? In recognition of School Business and Operations Day and in celebration of your dedication to accuracy, organization, and fiscal responsibility, which strengthens every department in our district, your thoroughness ensures that every dollar is accounted for and every process is completed with accuracy and care. As we are here today, we'd like to recognize all of your hard work and efforts, and we appreciate everything that y'all are able to do for Pearsall ISD. Congratulations.
1, 2, 3. Got it.
Okay, once again, here we are recognizing our next set of employees here in the district. If I could have all of our career and technology education staff please come up at this time to be recognized. In celebration of Career and Technical Education Month and in recognition of your dedication to preparing students for success beyond the classroom, you equip students with the knowledge, technical skills, and confidence needed for college, career, and lifelong achievement. Your dedication helps bridge education and industry, empowering students to explore career pathways and achieve their goals. We are proud to recognize each and every one of you here this evening. Mr. Lopez. There you go.
And 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Our last recognition we have here this evening is for Crossing Guard Appreciation Day. Do we have our Crossing Guard staff here in attendance here this evening? I do not believe we do. We'll celebrate them any which way. So in celebration of Crossing Guard Appreciation Day and in recognition for their dedication to service to the students and families of Pearsall ISD, their commitment to safety, vigilance, and care ensures that our students arrive at school and return home safely each and every day. So we have a certificate of recognition for Esperanza Arce and Alexa Howard. We will make sure to present those staff members this certificate.
Alrighty, we'll be moving on to item 5, public comment. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment? Oh, perfect. Mr. Bettis? Alright, so before we begin public comment, the board will now hear comments from those persons who have signed up to speak pursuant to board policy VIII.D local at regulations. The board for public comment regardless of whether the topic is on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. Generally speaking, an individual's comments to the board shall not exceed 3 minutes per meeting. A person may not defer her allotted time to another speaker. During the public comment portion of this meeting, the board will listen but not engage in dialogue or debate with the speakers. The board has adopted specific complaint policies and specific procedures for presenting complaints. Speakers with specific complaints or comments about indefinable students, identifiable students, employees, or officials of the district will be directed to the appropriate district administrator and or district's formal complaint process. If the presiding officer determines that during the presentation portion of this meeting that meeting is a complaint, he or she will respectfully ask the person to stop speaking and use the board's adopted policies and procedures to have the matter heard through the appropriate channels. The board expects all members of the audience to behave in a polite and orderly fashion during this time and all other portions of the meeting. Speakers who use profane, obscene, threatening, or abusive language will be ruled out of order and asked to discontinue their comments. Disruptive conduct will not be tolerated. Mr. Bettis, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Spoor.
Good evening.
I wanted to bring up the proposed calendar for next year. The proposed calendar option has the fall break currently scheduled for the week ending on October 17th. October 17th is the date for UIO marching contest. I had to confirm that with our region coordinator. Give him a phone call. He did indeed confirm it. It is that date. So having the fall break in the week leading up to UIO would be detrimental to the progress of the program at that point. During this last fall break, there were students that were out because their family scheduled a trip. Some students missed multiple practices, and some even missed a football game and marching contest the following day. Luckily, it was not during the week leading up to UIO, so we had an opportunity to catch students up before UIO. It was still an issue. I'm asking the board to consider rescheduling the fall break. Having the fall break at the end of the first 6 weeks in September would be ideal, since that is before the contest season starts. If the fall break must happen in October, I'm asking that the board consider moving it up a week or two so that we can make final adjustments to our show without the worry of missing students. It should go without saying, but I feel that we should give our students the best chance possible at succeeding and moving on to the next level. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to that. I wanted to express that before anything comes up. So that's my conclusion. That's pretty much it. Now I got to get back to the high school again because we have our UIL summer going on right now. So that concludes my comments. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ready? That was the end of the people that move on to item board president report. That is me. I wanted to walk around. Okay, so good evening, board. I wanted to present a little bit on my program that I'm in called Leadership TASB. Leadership TASB is a program by TASB that allows select trustees who apply and are able to get it an opportunity to have a lot of site visits to other campuses around the state, have master classes by really renowned presenters. We have research projects that we do with our groups, and there's a lot of networking that is to be done with trustees from all around Texas and all around we have governance where we talk to people at the Capitol, we talk to people at campuses, so there's a lot of networking opportunities that are available in this program that I'm in. This program consists of 32 trustees from across the state of Texas, and they're selected. There's about 7,000 school board members in the state of Texas, and not all 7,000 apply to be in this program, but a good amount do. I think there was around 1,000 that applied this year, and 32 trustees were selected, and they represent urban, suburban, and rural districts. So these are some of the people that are in my class, and kind of in Region 20 area, we have Edgewood ISD, Judson, and East Central. So it's also nice to be able to talk to some of these other school board members that are in this program, that are in our region. So a part of this program, it's a year-long program. We visit multiple schools. I think it's 4 different schools here. And it's 4 different cities: Houston, Harlingen, Amarillo, and Texarkana. So to date, I've been to Houston, Harlingen, and Amarillo, and all of those have been really great opportunities to learn. And this is, in the program, they make it where they want you to be fully immersed. So the program starts at 7 a.m. and it ends around 10 p.m. And we have like a 1-hour break in between. So when they say we're fully immersed in learning. So what we do is we have learning sessions, we talk, we go visit campuses, and then we come back and we go through some sessions of what they want to show us. So here's kind of a visual map of where everything's at. Got Houston, Texarkana, and all the other cities on here. So let's move to some pictures. This is at a school in Brownsville. They have a all-girls race car team, which was really nice to see. This is in the high school. And what I really liked about this is I saw the alignment. This started in elementary, it progressed into middle school, and it ended in high school. And I forget what they're sponsored by, but it's sponsored by either Porsche or Ferrari or one of those big name brands. So it was really nice to see what the students were doing. They have race cars and they compete, and in Brownsville they win pretty good championships. So that was nice to see. And here's the elementary version of that car. So it was really cool. And this gentleman right here is really awesome. He does the race cars, and he also does a chess team, which this chess team in Brownsville, they're all girls as well. Not a theme, but it just so happened to be that the girls are just awesome, and they just wanted to sign up for all this. And the girl chess team competed, and they got a state championship, and they're actually going to nationals, and they're going to Chicago, Illinois for that. So that was pretty awesome to see. And every organization that I'm showing you that these students are in, they're all like state award winning on what they're doing each respectively. So this is the high school culinary team that they have. They fed us at one of the events, and their food was awesome, and they just were so professional. I felt like we're at like a 5-star restaurant. They also have a mariachi team that we got to see there, and they were awesome, and they played throughout the whole event. And at this school, this is in Lyford, so it's on around Harlingen, and they have a really good partnership with law enforcement. This is what they have, a partnership with the Border Patrol, and they gave some demonstrations on what they do here, and there's a direct, they have a good relationship with them, and they just go through there, and that's a CTE program. We also get to do a lot of visiting these classrooms to see what students are doing, and all these students are engaged in all their activities, and in every school, it's so awesome to see kind of what every other school is doing. So these site visits are really nice in the classroom. This is the Edgewood School Board President with the Texas Ranger. This Texas Ranger is actually a school board member as well, so that was pretty awesome to hear. But when we were looking here, they have a building specifically that is just made for law enforcement, not just the school law enforcement, but any law enforcement in the area. It's just a building that they have access to, and they can stop by anytime, go do their paperwork, and they have a police presence on campus. So that was a pretty awesome thing to see. This area right here is just kind of some of the ideas that you see when you're walking across different schools. This was in one of their elementary schools, and the classrooms are on the left and right, but in the middle, it's also a learning area, so you're not just in the classroom. So that was awesome to see. This video on the right, I didn't put it the right way, but it's off my phone, but it just shows graphics. They have an in-house graphics shop that they print shirts, they print the vinyl signs, they do all the graphics for the school district. So let's see if it plays. And these are all students that do everything. So they make the shirts, they make stickers actually, they do embroidery, they do photos, and they make all the vinyl signs for the school district. So that was really cool, and it was all in-house by the students. This is Lyford's brand new Performing Arts Center. So it was nice seeing what they have, because we also have a brand new Performing Arts Center. So we were right on par with them. On the left is showing their weight room, and it was pretty state-of-the-art. It was nice seeing what they have going there. And then on the right is an interactive projector for students so that they can learn in PE, being physical, getting that, and then also learning at the same time. Here was a really eye-opening and just good to see it in action. It's Bluebonnet reading, what they were showing. They were showcasing it. And this school that I saw here, they said that they went from a D to a B, an 89B in 1 year. So that was awesome to see. Whether it was just Bluebonnet or not, that's a different thing, but that was great to see right here. They also showed, this is in I forgot what the school's name is, but it's in Amarillo ISD, it's an elementary school, and that school had a mixed population of all different races and ethnicities. So this is the girls team. I forgot exactly what they're called, but it was in a different language, and it was really awesome to see what they were doing. They did a dance. And then this is just part of the master classes that we see. It's this is ABCs on effective board communication, and this is Miss Deborah Fine on fine arts and communication. So these are just kind of those master sessions that we see whenever we go back from the campus visits. We go back to a room and we just have lots of sessions about various things. And these are all the sessions that we kind of saw. So a lot of it's on communication, some of it's on the government, how that works at a state level and a national level, and just communicate, a lot of things on communication. So that was great. This is where we got to actually meet with the House Representative, Erwin Gomez, if I'm saying that right. And she showed us a lot of ways to be an advocate and how to be more involved with all that process. So I'm really looking forward to getting more involved in that. And that's it. I just want to make it short, sweet, kind of give you all a little update of what I've been going to and what Leadership TASB is. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. But if not, I would really recommend this program for any of y'all on the board that have served more than 18 months. You're able to be on it. All you got to do is apply, and it's the best training that I've ever been to for a school board, for sure. That's it. All right, moving on to item 6B, Superintendent Report.
Good evening, board members, community, and staff. Just a few presentations that are go into depth with what we've got here. Just want to kind of go over our enrollment and our attendance. You can see that our enrollment has dropped a little bit. We kind of leveled off. We noticed when we came back from Christmas, we lost a few kids. But attendance, I know we were really kind of hit hard this 4 to 6 weeks, which was when we came back in January. We're still battling the flu even this week, so we've been hit pretty hard with the flu and some other stuff. But this last week or two, we've seen the numbers come up a bit. But again, congratulations to the intermediate school for having the highest percentage this 6 weeks. And here's just, rather than words, I was going to give you some pictures so you can see some of the things we have here. We had one of our students from the high school, Paula Segovia Sosaya, went to the Region 20 Spanish Spelling Bee and made it to the round of Final 6, and that's for all the schools in the whole region. So that's a pretty big deal. We have our All-State Band member, Steven Herrera, who placed 6th at the All-State Band, his 3rd year to make All-State Band, which is pretty amazing. You can see that we also have several perfect attendance awards. I know each of the campuses do something extra special, so you can see the high school kids enjoying some pizza and some other kind of fun snacks for the other campuses. You can see, I have a picture there of Ms. Baker, got to be my guinea pig for that. I met with Mr. Martinez, and I met with each of the principals to go over mid-year review for their campuses. We had staff development on the 16th. We'll have another day of staff development coming up right before spring break next week on the 6th. We've done quite a bit of staff appreciation. You can see some of the goodie carts. Each campus has a goodie cart that they go around and treat the teachers to. And we also have a picture of our junior high region band, and it was Kindness Week, so you can see a lot of Kindness Week stuff. Also, we've just finished up our book fairs, and it was really exciting to go. I spent a lot of money. It was a blast. I think I went twice because I turned a corner and there was another book that I needed to get. But it was a lot of fun, and it was fun to see when the parents came through as well and wanted to thank the high school kiddos who went to TFE to help with the book fair there. So just a lot of fun things going on in the district these last few weeks. And finally, we're really proud of our first district newsletter. Ms. Lucero Sanchez helped set that up, and you can find that on our website and on social media, and that will be something that we're going to be producing pretty regularly now to give you a little more in-depth and in one place. So thank you, Lucero, for doing a great job on our newsletter, our Maverick Roundup. And that is it for my report tonight.
Awesome. I really like the way that this Maverick Roundup looks, because it looks really professional and it gives a lot of information, and I got a lot of compliments on the school doing this, so
Thank you.
pretty good.
Thank you. She has become quite the Canva guru, and so as we have other Other things that deserve, we felt a little bit more than just a Facebook post, because this will reach, an audience who maybe isn't on social media, but it's always going to be on our website. And our goal is at the end of the year to have a hard copy with the whole year wrap up that we can share. That's kind of a yearbook for the district for the year.
I would also say maybe print them out and maybe have a list of maybe some seniors that would like to have a physical copy or a physical
There you go.
copies available.
Absolutely.
That'd be pretty neat.
I know
Absolutely.
Trustee Dora Mata
Sir.
Rodriguez said, she made a comment to me the other day, in regards to the older generation that don't have internet or go to social media, if the superintendent's report can also be included, some type of reporting about the district in the local newspaper as well. Just to reach out to everybody, all
Absolutely.
stakeholders. So,
We can certainly do that. I can start a column in the newspaper. I'm
There you
happy
go.
to do that.
reach out to everybody.
You know I like to write, right?
That's it. That's it.
You get a real long every couple of weeks. I'll be happy to do that. Thank you. That's a great suggestion, sir.
Alrighty, any other questions, comments? Okay, moving on to item 6C, athletic director report.
Good evening, Board President, Board members, and Dr. Spohr, and everybody in attendance. My name is Joey Cantu. I am the new athletic director, and I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to come back home and serve our community and just kind of give you a heads up or update of what's happening in Pearsall ISD athletics. One of the things I kind of wanted to start off with was kind of a little bit of our vision that I want to bring to our athletic program. And it's to create an athletic program where every child, middle school, high school, feels supported, challenged, and valued. One of the things that I want to see more is the development of the student as a whole through positive leadership, relentless growth, where mistakes are teaching moments. We can recognize effort, and obviously resilience would be something that we want to pursue with all of our athletes. One of the things that I'm trying, or we have started, not trying, but we have started with our athletic department, with the junior high, with also the high school. I have also extended it to JROTC, and band is our 2 words curriculum. Basically what the curriculum is a character development and a leadership type curriculum where student athletes get to watch videos through Coach Mackey, and then there's worksheets and there's questions and there's things that we can discuss to understand more about leadership, understand more about things like toughness, integrity, belief, which is a growth mindset, excellence, resilience, or relentless effort, and then really the last one is important to me, which is the service to others. One of the things that I'm really trying to push forward with our coaches and our student athletes is to start doing community events. Open up some of our gyms and open up things like that to work with elementary students who I think are the foundation of our community and where we can give back and show a little bit of community spirit and community pride. And so this is kind of something that I look forward to and continuing to use to help our athletes again, learn a little bit more. One of the big things that when I first got here was obviously our new district. Our football schedule is out. It's going to involve a lot of new schools. Obviously, our new district is with San Antonio Memorial, Cuero, Gonzales, Bandera, and Navarro. It's something new that we have. A lot of the teams that we're used to playing moved down in a division to Division 3 or to 3A. But one of the things is I'm excited because with the new district becomes new opportunities. I believe our athletes are really, it's always kind of change is always scary. But for me, I look at it as opportunity. And so I think for us, we look at this district schedule. The one thing that was a concern was obviously travel to Cuero, to Gonzales, and to Navarro. Those are our faraway games, but the good thing is this year they're all at home. And so we get to host, and so next year, the following year, we have enough time to plan for travel and how we're going to get our football athletes there, band, and cheerleading, and all of them, you know, to those spots and locations so we can go win some games. Sorry. Our volleyball and basketball district has also changed a little bit. We added Medina Valley, Creekview, which is the new school in Medina Valley, Pleasanton, San Antonio Kennedy, San Antonio Memorial, Somerset and Uvalde will be, and the volleyball, basketball, and pretty much all the other sports in district. And so, again, with this, it helps us understand a little bit of, you know, what's going to be, you know, important to us to be successful, but at the same time, travel in this district will be pretty easy. Okay, so I kind of think that that's going to be important, you know, especially kids who are playing on a Tuesday night to be able to get back home at a decent hour moving forward. Okay. And so we always like to celebrate our kids. One of the big highlights right now is we have our high school powerlifting. Currently we have one boy and one girl that are ranked in the top 2 in the state in their weight class. We have several others that are ranked in the top 5 or top 10, and they have to be ranked in the top 10 to qualify for regionals. As of Monday, we had 6, but we found out we qualified another girl, so we have 7 girls going to regionals. And so that's a great accomplishment from those athletes and those coaches. Junior high, we wrapped up our basketball season with our district tournament. Both the boys and girls finished strong. Our tennis team has competed, went to the Border Olympics last week. And again, they continue to have success in their tournament. Soccer is currently in the 2nd round of their district round robin, and our boys team in program history had their first district point, which was kind of exciting. Again, it's not, you think about it and you're like, well, but that's progress, and that's the momentum and the things that we want to continue to work on to build some standards and have high standards for our athletic program. Our softball team just hosted their Lady Mavs Classic and are off to a good start. High school track has competed in a couple of track meets. They had hosted our Edie Lee track meet here in Pearsall. Junior high track is also beginning their season. Today was their first track meet in Carrizo Springs. We had over 130 students come out to participate in junior high track. That's pretty amazing. Our golf team is working towards their district tournament, which is March 23rd and 24th at the Golf Club of Texas. And then our Maverick baseball team is starting their home season and their home opener. They're playing in a couple tournaments right now, but their home opener will be March 3rd. So why is March 3rd such a great time? Well, that is going to be my meet and greet. So I invite all the community come out, see me throw out the first pitch. You know, I played a little baseball when I was young, so I think I still got it. I might be able to get it to the plate. So that's kind of my big thing. So any questions? All right.
We will have hot dogs there because you can't have baseball without hot dogs. So we're going to come out and have hot dog and see Coach Kenzie.
Awesome.
Have you posted this online, just so people know about it?
So, you're right, I have not, but I will. I will, and Lucero is posting it right now.
I just want to make sure everybody can see it.
Yeah. More pressure.
All right. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Mr.
Your curriculum, the last bullet. Yeah, the last bullet you said service to others.
Yes.
And you meant community service.
Community service, community projects, things like that. We actually, Ms. Bass has reached out to me. We had a elderly lady who came over and was asking for a little bit of help. Her husband passed away. Unfortunately, the number that was given, miscommunicated. I can't get in touch with her. I don't know if I could say her name, but we're trying to get in touch with her and trying to find a thing. But that would be a community project where our athletes would go and help. And then we could also showcase that in Beyond the Game, which is an actual program that the news outlets actually do for sports programs.
I think that is awesome. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
And I also would like to suggest that it's really, really nice when each, I guess, sport supports each other. Especially when you have band going out and almost for state, and it's really nice to see volleyball out there, football players out there to support. I'm just not particularly picking on band, but vice versa with each other. Correct. You know?
That is one thing that I have been relaying to our coaches in our coaches meeting is we have to support one another. That's the biggest thing, and it's all going to be kind of a process and a change maybe from past. I don't know, but that's kind of one of my pet peeves is to support one another and to make sure that we're getting involved with the community and so on and so forth.
I think that's going to be great because it starts from the students, and then the parents get to see that, and the parents jump on, and you don't get the negativity. And y'all know what I'm talking about, so.
Things that we do, like when I was talking about with, basketball, let's just say we have our basketball day, those things are student-led. And so the coaches are there to help supervise, but the kids are the ones that are leading those programs and those things. We give them what we want them to do, but again, we want to have the kids learn how to become a leader and get involved and to give back. That's kind of my big deal.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I do have a question. Actually, it was great seeing you last night at the Lady Math softball game. Being visible is very important, and you know that. You're out there, you've been there. So anyway, I did have a conversation with you. It was great, great conversation and all. The one question that I asked you, and I'm going to go ahead and ask here, is where are we at with the head football coach? I'm not asking for the naming, who's applied or anything like that, just where are we at?
So we had 20 candidates who applied for the head football job. We are down to, we've chosen 6. We have a interview, and I've selected a interview committee. March 4th, we are going to be interviewing for our head football. We are hoping that we can find a candidate that is going to be a best fit for Pearsall and Pearsall ISD and Pearsall, Texas, and the community, and someone that is going to help, build success here with not only, and that's my big thing, it's not only just with football, but with all sports. Someone who's going to be able to work with all sports and like I said, other people and so on and so forth. And I think we have 6 really good candidates that are, going to be vying for that spot. And then we will hopefully have someone to bring to the board so y'all can, approve and go forward with it.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll be moving on to item 6D, Pearsall ISD School Improvement Mid-Year Data Report by Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Board President Aguilar. Pearsall ISD has been engaging in school improvement work throughout this school year, and Mr. Martinez is going to cover some of the student outcome data from our current school year and an assessment of our current practices and the next steps that we will be taking in our journey of school improvement.
We'll go ahead and begin my presentation. We are going to cover our school improvement efforts and also provide the board and community with an update for our mid-year data. Just a quick reminder of just where we're at currently with all of our campuses in terms of our accountability ratings. So currently we do have 2 F-rated campuses, the intermediate and Ted Flores Elementary, and we have 2 D-rated campuses, Pearsall Junior High and Pearsall High School. And the high school does also carry a federal designation of comprehensive improvement status. So we'll go ahead and get into some data here. So the data that you're seeing here currently and what you're going to continue to see is going to be reflective of how we performed academically on the 2025 STAR assessment. And we are also bringing the comparison of our latest round of 6 weeks assessments, which was the 4th 6 weeks. So on this screen, you will see blue will be the 2025 STAR assessment data, and also in green will be the 4th 6 weeks, so for clarity. Also, so that we have a good understanding of what we're seeing up here, we are presenting the data in did not meet, approaches, meets, masters, the component score, which is an average of approaches, meets, and masters, and then the scaled score, you can equate that as what would we have gotten in terms of an accountability letter number, a letter grade. That would be either an A, B, C, D, or F. So just for clarity. What we begin to see here is in reading, and this is at the intermediate level. A highlight is for the scale score for reading at 3rd grade. We did have an improvement from a D rating to a C rating. And again, also at the master's level for 4th grade reading, we did see a substantial improvement in the meets category. And again, we did also have a regression for 5th grade reading, but it is going to be something that was very comparable. We went from a 62 to a 60. As we go now into the junior high for reading, we did have, again, just a slight regression in 6th grade of our scaled score from a 59 to a 57. Again, for, 67 to a 60, And we did also have an improvement at 7th grade reading at the approaches level for us 52 to a 63. And then we did see another regression as a scale score for 8th grade from a 69 to a 56. For our high school and of course for English, we did see again a slight regression in the scaled score from a 59 to a 57. And again for English 2, again, regression from a 59 to a 57. The next round we're going to be having on the board is for math at the intermediate level. We did see a slight increase in the scaled score for 3rd grade math. We did also have a slight regression in 4th grade from a 59 to a 57, and again, also in 5th grade from a 59 to a 57 in the scaled score. Junior high for math, again, we see another regression here at the scaled score for 6th grade of a 59 to a 56. We did see a highlight here for the approaches in 7th grade, so we did increase from a 35 to a 44. And again, for 8th grade, we did see a healthy improvement here for our 8th graders composite score, again, from a 36 to a 46, and also a scaled score from a 62, so from a D to a C at a 74. For Algebra 1, the scores here that you will see, again, indicate another healthy improvement. You did see a scale score from a D of a 62 all the way from an 82, so from a D to a B. So we did see a good amount of improvement in that regard as well. The next set will be covering science. Again, we did see an improvement in the scaled score from a 56 to a 69, so almost a 70 for 5th grade science. And we did also see a slight regression in 8th grade in the scaled score. Still, again, needing work there. And we did see an improvement in biology, and of course, so we went from an F to a C in the scaled score in that regard. Next and final, you have the social studies category. So for our 8th graders, again, we did see a slight regression at the scaled score for 56 to a 55. And of course, U.S. history, again, we see very healthy numbers right now, even at our approaches level to 95. And then our scaled score, we went from a D to an A at a 90. So again, we are seeing a bright spot there. Would like to just very briefly mention some of the school improvement strategies that we've been able to do here this year. We have engaged with Region 20 as our partner, and we have been also having our Texas Instructional Leadership with observation and feedback to support our teachers and students. We are also, again, potentially with board approval here this evening, which we'll talk about a little bit later. The road ahead would include the possibility of the Leadership Instructional Foundations of Texas, which is LIFT, and then also with PLC support through the LIFT. And again, that will be pending board approval, but we'll be able to talk about that a little bit later here this evening. So some celebrations that we've been able to do throughout our work with school improvement are, again, Texas Instructional Leadership, and then we're also engaging with another round of school improvement with performance management. So celebration would be for the district approved curriculum. 100% of our teachers, when we're doing walkthroughs with Region 20 and our campus administrators, 100% of our teachers are using the district approved curriculum, and 100% of our teachers are within 5 days of their scope and sequence. So again, that's worthy of highlighting. And all of our students, again, are having opportunities to engage in grade level content with Tier 1 instruction. So when it comes down to it, we set a goal for our staff to be able to have 5 full observation and feedback cycles per month, and we are averaging 5 at this point. And 100% of our administrators, including the principal, the assistant principal, and instructional coaches, have been engaging in this school improvement work. And also myself, I serve as the district coordinator for school improvement, and I'm also assisting the principals as their principal manager. So we have all engaged in the school improvement work here this year. The opportunity that we do have, so a part of the Texas Instructional Leadership, we do have what's called a fidelity of implementation tool that we use. Basically, it's a quick assessment of where are we at, how are we performing in terms of our work that we've been able to do. And through that process, we were able to identify that we have a need for our teachers to be able to see a little bit more in their feedback session in regards to how do they actually work through the strategies or the things that they've been identified. And so we were able to very quickly target that, and as next steps, myself as a principal manager and the principal was engaged in a practice lab where I was able to model for them, and they were able to experience what a teacher would be able to experience in the feedback session, and actually have them practice what the strategy that we were focusing on, what it would look like with the teacher actually practicing it in 2 different models. So we would have the first round where everything would go perfect, all of our kids behaving exactly the way that they would be needing to in the classroom. And then the second round is where, well, what happens whenever maybe a student or something doesn't go right in the classroom? How would a teacher be able to respond in that regard? So they get that opportunity to see it. And then when it comes down to further opportunities, tiering the teachers in order to accurately assess what teachers are in most need of support, what teachers are in most need of our intervention and our attention. So we've been able to obviously address that as well. So on the curriculum and instruction side, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's evident through the walkthroughs that we're completing, our teachers are using the district approved curriculum, and they are within 5 days of their scope and sequence. When it comes down to the opportunity, we were able to identify that although we are using the curriculum and we are within our scope and sequence, we are still having a need to engage our students better and to also offer them opportunities for student discourse. That's a big fancy way of saying students talking to each other and being able to interact from their peers and to learn from each other. So as a result, we have already arranged for professional development, and we will actually be engaging in professional development with student engagement and student discourse strategies this next week, right before we release for spring break on March the 6th. They will be out here and they will be giving our teachers strategies in order to really impact student engagement and student discourse. But that's not enough. When it comes down to it, we also want to see our teachers identify where can they implement those strategies in their lesson plan and how can they ultimately impact students at a greater level. With that being said, not only are the teachers going to have an opportunity to identify where they can put those strategies in their lesson plan, they're also going to have an opportunity for our administrators to follow up with them in a future walkthrough and to be able to assess how well that is going for the teacher. If the teachers are doing well with it, they're going to continue to provide that opportunity for them to continue to use those strategies. If our teachers are needing more help and support, then we go back to the drawing board and we offer another chance for our teachers to get support in that regard. So I thank you for your attention here this evening. I would love to answer any questions that you may have. As you can tell, I do get a little bit excited, and this is part of the work that we're doing. So if there's anything I can expand on or anything that you'd like for me to be able to answer, I would welcome any questions that you'd have at this time.
We're looking at the star data, and then the other side was green. The test or the measurement tool that was used for that.
Yeah, the 4 6 weeks assessment comparison to how they performed in the 2025 STAR, so last year's STAR.
I will say that there are a lot of areas that have improved, so good job to all the principals and everyone that's working on that.
Mr. Board President, that's a very great question. One of the things that I will say is that we've been spending a lot of time, effort, and energy in having our principals and also our teachers interact more with data. I cannot speak for what was done in the past, but what I can speak on is our efforts that we've done this year, being able to have relevant, readily available data for them to be able to have actionable opportunities to not just sit and wait and, well, we got our STAR assessment results and, well, now what do we do with it? Our focus has been really on interacting with the data in real time to make adjustments and to be able to better support. One thing I will say is that our teachers have been very good, but we have a lot of new things that we're asking our teachers to do. Brand new curriculum. We're asking them to be able to internalize their lessons at a different level than maybe they had in the past. And it is something that I believe we are making progress, although we would all love for progress to be more immediate and faster and at a higher level. I believe we are on the right track. It will take time and effort to be able to really see the fruits of our labor, but I really feel that we have a solid plan in place for us to be able to get to where we want to be in the future.
And I will echo that there's a lot of things that we changed this year, and it's a process. And one of the things that I remember hearing at the last session that I went to is the principal, whenever they changed a lot of things, they also had new leadership, was just trust the process. So I thank everyone for everything that they're doing, because I know it's not easy. It's a lot of things that we changed all at once, but I think we'll be working on all of them as well. So.
I know you said that we're asking a lot from the teachers. What do you see from them, like their well-being, getting all that?
We've had an opportunity to be able to be on campuses. If you have any of your kiddos, sometimes you might see Superintendent Core and I, we are really making our best effort to be visible, to be available to our administrators, students, our teachers. I see people showing up every day, sir. I see people coming in with a positive attitude, and I see encouragement in regards to, we have a lot of our staff, I don't know, again, I can't speak from what was done in the past, but they need help and support, and they need to be able to feel valued, and they need to be able to feel like someone has their back, and that's exactly what we're intending to do throughout this whole process. But they've been really, again, with a positive attitude, being able to show up every day, and in my mind, that's half the battle. When we can come in every day with a good attitude and a growth mindset to be able to learn, where we can learn from each other, when we can learn from our peers, that is going to be where we can expedite some of this process, because change is hard. And again, content knowledge, for sometimes our newer, inexperienced teachers, it comes along a lot faster than others. But in others, being a teacher is a tough job. And I'll say that being from my own experience in the classroom, and it's only gotten tougher. And it's not easy with a lot of the things that the state is asking from us, but I feel that our teachers are showing up, and I'll go to bat with these group of teachers that we have any day of the week. So I feel that confident with them.
Right, and exactly what you just finished saying at the end, it's been harder for the teachers, educators, and that's why I'm asking where we at with them, how are they doing?
Yeah. We got work, sir, I'm not gonna lie. I will not lie to you. We have a lot of work to do, but I feel that we're on the road. We're on the road.
We're not the only district that's, so
Yeah.
it's been a challenge.
Absolutely.
It's been a challenge, but I just wanted to, try to get a note and see what's going on.
I will say, if you look at it, and then this is data that we've talked about regularly, the principals meet with us every 2 weeks, and a lot of the things that they've not done before, the tracking piece, the data, and ensuring that what we're capturing is this a good metric to say, how are we going to do towards the end? So ensuring that we've got some decent metrics to say, is that comparable, that 4-6 weeks exam, to what we're doing? And also, we're asking teachers to stop doing what they did before, because it didn't work before. So some of them have said, I easily drop what I was doing and I'm picking up what you're doing, and we're seeing a lot of change and a lot of growth and movement there. Others are struggling a little bit more with that, but I will say that we're trying to ensure that we have a sense of urgency, but without boiling the pot over. So it's that fine dance between making sure that we all have a sense of urgency about this. We can't be relaxed in, oh, well, they didn't get it this time, No, the goal is to get better really fast. And so it's at what speed can we go and still keep everybody with us in this journey. So I know that we're getting ready to hit our blitz time right after spring break, but we're not focusing on where are we going to get as much as where are we going to grow. So the big thing that we're looking at with them is, okay, how did Jody do last year? This year she needs to do as well or one question better. Everybody can do that. If we do that, we will have met our goal. So it's hard to look at achievement without us having that growth conversation. So we have that growth conversation. That's something the kids and the teachers, everybody's tracking their own growth. How did I do last year? What am I doing this year? Because it gets harder. So to have done the same last year to this year, it means I grew because I've had a whole new year's worth of learning to take in. So that's the next thing that we'll be bringing you is right here, this last little group of tests we've done, we're going to be able to pull growth, and we'll show you some growth charts because that's where we were showing the biggest improvement is some growth. You know, I want to say in Tiffany, we're looking at their 8th grade math. We're asking for a growth score of 85 as an A, 80 as an A. They got a growth score of 112. And so those little things are huge. So if the kids can learn 8th grade math and do that well, they can do it on all subjects. So it's getting a little of that momentum, a little of that I believe I can do it. I've done it. I can do it in another content. And I think the teachers are all also getting a little more comfortable with, hey, this is what it means to look at the data and how I make a pivot to help recapture that. So this next 6 weeks before we hit those April tests are going to be a big one for making sure that everybody feels very prepared going in. But the STAR test is not a big, bad, mean thing. It's just a measure. It's an opportunity for us to show off what we've learned this year.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir. Moving on to item 6E, monthly financial report by Ms. Fernandez.
Good evening, everyone. This is a presentation of the January 2026 financials. This fund description report lists the 3 different types of funds that will be discussed. Included are the general operating funds, 180 for athletics, 181 for the swimming pool, 182 for band, and 199 for the general fund. I will also include information for Special Revenue Fund 240 for the food service program, as well as for the Interest and Sinking Fund 511 for debt service. Next is a comparison of revenue to budget for the general operating funds. The types of revenue that we generally receive are listed on the left. There's local and intermediate, state, and federal revenue. The total estimated revenue that was budgeted was $27.4 million. In January, we received $5.8 million, bringing the year-to-date revenue to $19.4 million. And the majority of this revenue received was from local tax collections. We did not have any other sources of revenue that was received. This is a comparison of expenditures and encumbrances to budget for the general operating funds. Starting with functions 11, 12, 13, 21, and 23, you will see priority spending has been for instructional purposes in function 11. Function 11 had the highest monthly encumbrances and expenditures with the total expenditure to date of $6.6 million, which is approximately 46% of the amount budgeted for this function. Continuing with functions 31 through 36, function 31 for counseling services has expended 51.7% of the budget, while function 36 for co-curricular activities has expended $563,000 year-to-date, which is the highest from this group. Next are functions 41, 51, 52, 53, and 61. Function 51 for maintenance and operations had the highest monthly encumbrances and expenditures with an expenditure to date of $1.7 million, which is 39% of the function's total budget. Functions 71, 81, 93, 95, and 99 cover debt service, construction, shared service arrangements, JJEP, and appraisal district cost. Function 71 for debt service has expended $334,000, while function 99 for the appraisal district cost has expended $232,000. The total budgeted for all of these funds for the general operating fund was $30,065,140, of which we have spent $13,122,035 as of January. There were no other expenses to provide information on. Next, this is a comparison of revenue to budget for our food service program, Fund 240. Estimated revenue was $2.3 million. $361,000 was received in January. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. And a total of $862,000 has been received to date. For Fund 240, we only use two functions. There's Function 35 for food services, as well as 51 for facilities maintenance and operations. Function 51, we haven't had any expenditures yet, but for Function 35, year-to-date expenditure, it was $975,000. It's a comparison of revenue to budget for our interest and sinking fund, 511. Total estimated revenue was $3.2 million. In January, we received $972,000, and we have received to date $2.2 million as of January. For comparison of expenditures and encumbrances to budget for Fund 511, we only use Function 71 for debt service payments. There was $2.1 million encumbered and $45,100 spent for January, and a total spent to date $46,100. Next, we have the schedule of general fund certificates of deposits. Amounts invested this month were $30,500,000. Interest accrued at the end of the month was $101,998.49, with the total value at the end of this month, $30,601,998.49. The schedule of interest and sinking fund certificates of deposit for January, the amounts invested were $1,327,731. Interest accrued at the end of the month was $4,826.52, with the total value at the end of the month of $1,332,557.52. For the general fund investment in the Lone Star investment pool, interest earned for January was $3,853. Total interest earned is $20,018.79, with the total investment plus year-to-date interest earned of $1,163,638.27. This next slide shows the donations received. We received two. The first was from Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson LLP. They donated $500 to the Pearsall High School FFA in support of youth development opportunities. The second was from the Texas Farm Bureau, donated $250 to Pearsall Intermediate for the Learning from the Ground Up gardening grant. And that can conclude my presentation.
300, where it says the expenditure amount is like 129%, and she was just kind of wondering if there was any behind that. And if you don't have an answer, then you can get back to me.
I will definitely get back to you, but I can tell you that that means it's overexpended on that object code. You see the 6300s for supplies? We budgeted 69.9, and yes, and we've already spent 90,000, so it means it over exceeded the budget. But I'll look into it and see exactly what it was that we purchased.
I didn't see checkbooks.
They're now online. Was it not posted online? No. Okay, then I'll get with my staff and have them posted tomorrow because it should be up there. Okay. Any other questions?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You want to give that to me?
All right. Now we'll move on to the consent, item 7, and we'll go, consent.
We're bringing you three things in the consent agenda. These are items which are considered routine and non-controversial matters. We're asking for a single vote to approve unless you request a separate discussion on a specific item. One are the donations that Ms. Fernandez just mentioned in her report. The board has to accept any, if a gift is made for a specific purpose, and both of those were sent for a specific purpose, those must be, must receive board approval. Also, the book lists, according to the new board policy, VI.B local, we post book lists, and these are for campus or classroom libraries, that those have to be posted for 30 days on our website for public review. After that, we bring it to the board for approval. We do have more books up on our list, and we will bring that for approval after the next 30 days are up. And then the last one are the minutes from our last two meetings of January 21 and February 11.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on the consent agenda?
I don't have any questions at the moment. Dr. Spoor answered my questions yesterday, I believe it was,
Yes, sir.
on the book list. It was an extensive book list attachment. So anyway, I don't have any questions.
Alrighty. If no one else has any questions or comments, can I get a motion on the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve consent agenda A, B, and C as presented.
Have a motion made by Lionel Gonda. Do I have a second? Have a second by Mari Benavides. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 7A, action items, application for delay of teacher certification by Ms. Shelley.
Sorry. On the board, it's got a VII.D for appointment of early voting, so. But on the papers, in the sheet does not have it, on there. I guess it just got, misplaced on there, on the consent agenda instead of on the action item. No?
Those are moved to action. My apologies. If you would like to keep it under action, we can keep it under action.
Yeah,
Under
we'll
E
do it.
for action.
Yeah, we'll do that. I was just looking at the board book over here from here.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Good evening, board. Under House Bill 2, school districts are now limited in their ability to waive certification requirements for teachers assigned to foundation curriculum courses. The law permits districts to request the Texas Education Agency a one-time delay for full implementation through the 29-30 school year. This delay allows school districts time to transition currently uncertified teachers into full certification through approved educator preparation program partnerships while maintaining staff stability and instructional continuity for students. As part of this process, the district must adopt a board-approved plan with measurable steps and timelines to reduce uncertified assignments and reach full compliance by this 29-30 school year. Additionally, DOI teachers will be reviewed jointly by human resources and campus principals to determine employment for the upcoming school year, contingent on their certification program progress during the current school year and their student performance data. So what I have up here is the application for delay as teacher certification requirements for our school district. I did not list names, but these are currently all the positions, not all of them, there's actually page 2, of uncertified people in our district. So for the elementary campus, at TFE we have 10, at the intermediate campus we have 5, at the junior high we have 9, and at the high school we have 11, bringing a total of uncertified teachers to 36 in our district. And those are only counting DOIs, that is not counting the people that have SOEs that have a probationary certificate. So these are everybody that's not currently certified. So our hiring trends If you look at 23-24, in that school year, we did hire 13 uncertified individuals. 24-25, 15, and this current school year, 7. So our current average for our 3-year average is about 11. So overall, Pearsall ISD has hired approximately 12 uncertified teachers annually over the past 3 years, with the majority serving in foundation curriculum assignments. So to support this goal, Pearsall ISD is planning to, we'll be implementing a multi-stepped approach to help these people become certified by the 29-30 school year as allowed by the state of Texas. By targeting recruitment efforts, so we will be going to regional job fairs. We are having everybody from directors to assistant superintendents attending these job fairs. We are also offering early contract offers and incentives. Through the Grow Your Own program, we also applied for the LASSO 4 grant. We did get that, so we do have the Grow Your Own through LASSO 4, as well as a prep residency program coming for the 26-27 school year. We also have structured mentorship and coaching for those uncertified teachers, as well as brand new teachers that are certified. We also have partnered with 240 prep programs, so anybody that is not currently certified in the position that they're teaching, because again, state of Texas is now saying that you have to be certified in what it is that you're teaching. So there are some letters that go out at the beginning of the year that say, you know, you're teacher certified, but they're not highly qualified. Texas is saying no more, you have to be certified in what it is that you're teaching. So this is our way of helping them out as well. They're giving access to that program to up to 90-day access to prepare for whatever test it is that they're trying to take. Once that access expires, they reach out to me, I give them another 90-day access again. We also have professional development alignment and monitoring accountability systems. In partnering with Region 20, we are moving forward with them to help these teachers become certified. And so this is our transition plan. So again, right now, currently we have 36 uncertified teachers. By next year, we are gonna be targeting 16. And so those 16, we're gonna try to get them to be fully certified. These are the people that are right there at the cuff. They're almost there to be fully certified. 27, 28, 13, 28, 29, 7, and by 29, 30, we should be in full compliance moving forward. And so this is our plan for the delay of teacher certification.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about this item?
So this plan does have to be board approved, and it has to be posted on our website, and it also has to be submitted to TEA so that the commissioner can approve it as well.
And if there's no questions, concerns, comments, can I get a motion on this item?
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the application with the plan for the delay of teacher certification as presented.
I have a motion made by Lionel Donovan. Do I have a second? I have a second by Diana Hughes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Move on to item 8B, consider and take action on Senate Bill 11 requirements. Dr. Stoll.
Another piece of legislation that came from the 89th regular session this past summer is Texas Education Code Section 25.0823, Senate Bill 11. Senate Bill 11 is a statute that allows a school board to adopt by record vote a prescribed resolution, a policy requiring every campus of the district or school to provide students and employees with an opportunity to participate in a period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious text, a daily prayer period, on each school day in accordance with the law. A school board does not have to adopt a daily prayer period, but the board does have to vote by March 1st on whether to adopt a resolution or not on this matter. Our current F&A legal outlines that with or without a local board policy, students and employees are not prohibited from participating in prayer or reading of the Bible or other religious texts during the school day. Senate Bill 11 would simply codify that and require us to provide a specific time set aside, specific locations for that reading if the board approves. Any questions that I could answer about this piece of legislation?
If nobody has any questions, I would just want to make a statement, fair statement there, mate, so. Any questions or anything, you know? So, while I respect the importance of faith for my family and I, and within our community, our responsibility as a public school board is to ensure that we serve and protect the rights of all students, regardless of religious belief or non-belief. Students already have the protected right to pray, read religious texts, and express their faith individually, including student-led youth groups, as some are already doing. Those freedoms are not in question. Our core mission remains on academic excellence, student and staff well-being, preserving instructional time, and fostering a learning environment that unites rather than potentially divide. By passing this resolution, I feel that it'll raise legal and constitutional concerns and expose the district to unnecessary challenges. For these reasons, I believe it is in the best interest of our students, our staff, and our community that we decline to adopt the proposed resolution. So I respectfully move that we not adopt the proposed SB 11 resolution, which includes language required by law under section 25.0823 of the Texas Education Code. That's my motion.
I have a motion made by Ryan Maganda. Do I have a second? I have a second made by Monty Benavides. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 8C, consider and take possible action on instructional materials. Mr. Martinez.
Good evening once again, board and members in attendance here this evening. We'll now be talking in terms of the instructional materials and supports that we are going to have the opportunity to provide for our district. So as mentioned previously earlier tonight, we did apply for the Learning Acceleration Support Opportunities Cycle 4 grant, which is the LASSO grant. We were fortunate to have been awarded 2 grants under the LASSO Cycle 4, which is the Leadership and Instructional Foundations in Texas, or the LIFT grant. And that was in the amount of $452,000. And we were also having the LIFT add-on, which is for school improvement PLC supports, and that was for an additional $120,000. Now, these programs will be implemented at TFE and the intermediate in grades K through 5 reading. And acceptance of these grant funds does require school board approval. So we're going to go into a little bit of depth on what this actually means here in the following slides. So the LIFT, the Leadership and Instructional Foundations of Texas, is a 3-year program and is designed to support Texas school systems in building instructional and systems level capacity in order to deliver high quality learning experience for all students. And that's exactly what we're attempting to do here in Pearsall IXD. So the LIFT brings together the highest leverage components of the strong foundations and TIL, which we've already began the TIL work here in the district, and also the Texas Lesson Study, providing comprehensive support for districts to adopt HQIM, what is otherwise known as high quality instructional materials, and it is also to implement the Bluebonnet learning over multiple years, so the Bluebonnet learning curriculum that was earlier mentioned as well. So a part of this, school systems are required to use a minimum of 70% of these grant funds in order to contract with a single provider. And we are also able to use as much as up to 30% of the grant funds for other allowable expenses. An example of that would also include potential salaries that could be covered. We also do have some incentives here if we are deciding to make the motion to approve it here tonight with the Bluebonnet learning that we will be using for K through 5 reading. We do benefit by having an up to $60 per student incentive, $40 for adoption of the Bluebonnet curriculum, and then $20 for printing and shipping costs. And that would be something that would be added to the district in order to support this. So a little bit about Bluebonnet learning. So we did have Region 20 come out and meet with our teachers in kindergarten through 5th grade. And they were, able to present on the Bluebonnet learning materials to give our teachers an opportunity to hear a little bit about what those curriculum pieces would be about. After that presentation, we were able to send out a survey to gauge the interest of our teachers and get their feedback on the Bluebonnet learning materials. And if you do have any further questions that I might not be able to answer here, we do also have a link for frequently asked questions for Bluebonnet at your leisure if you'd like to also use that as well. So I'd like to be able to go over the results of that feedback here presented on the screen. So the question was, how excited are you about implementing the curriculum? And this was from the teachers in the kindergarten through 5th grade session. And as you can see, a majority of the teachers are either a 3, 4, or 5, which 1 would be not excited at all, and 5 would have been the highest level of excitement about the curriculum. So majority of our teachers fall in the 3, 4, and 5 category. When it comes to what of these supports matter to you and how you would be able to support implementation of the curriculum, not surprising to me. I know from my prior experience also we do have almost 95% of our teachers would want printed student consumables, and then another overwhelming at 86.5% want printed teacher materials. So those were the top 2 that the teachers were saying that they valued the most. Now, interesting to note, all of these things that you see here are all things that Region 20 has already let us know that they would be able to provide, as they were the one that were doing the training session, or the information session, for our teachers on the Bluebonnet Learning Curriculum. Now, also, we asked the teachers if they believe that or how much they believe that the Bluebonnet would have an impact on student outcomes and student growth. And again, the overwhelming majority are either at a 3, 4, or 5. For our teachers, they believe that it would make an impact on student outcomes and growth. So based on all of the information here, and based on the information that we have here learned through being able to have been awarded the LASSO Cycle 4 grant, we are recommending for approval and to proceed forward with the LASSO 4, and also adopting the Bluebonnet instructional materials to support our teachers and students in the classroom in the area of kindergarten through 5th grade reading only at this time. If you have any questions, I would love to answer any questions that you may have.
I move that the board approve the adoption of Bluebonnet Learning, Reading, high-quality instructional materials as presented.
I have a motion made by Lionel Gondova. Do I have a second? I'll second. A second by Ronald Benavides. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thanks, sir. Now, we'll go on to item 8D, 2026-27 academic calendar. Mr. Martinez.
Here, the next item that I present here to the board will be the 26-27 academic calendar. So just a little bit of information in regards to how we have come to the board here tonight. So we did have, with the lens of ensuring compliance with state instructional minute requirements while supporting student learning, staff, professional development, and overall district operations, as we were building the options for our staff to consider for the academic calendar. Now, we also considered assessment windows, staff contract days, and also appropriate student and staff breaks. So those were all things that we considered. We did have a calendar subcommittee of the DEIC that we were able to comprise, and we met a total of 3 times. Through that process, we asked the calendar committee, subcommittee members to be able to solicit feedback from all of their campus representatives, their teachers and staff on the campus, and to be able to bring that to the DEIC so we would be able to ultimately come to tonight, where we're going to be presenting here for board consideration of the actual official academic calendar. So through that, we were able to get to 2 options. The calendar committee was able to select an option to present to the DEIC for consideration. So I would like to be able to present here the first calendar option. I know here on the screen it is a little bit small, but I know you also, board members, have available in your board book for you to have a little bit of an option to make it bigger or smaller if you need to. So what I'll say here is that based on all the feedback that we were able to get from the campuses, we were able to realistically accommodate almost, if not all, the things that they were asking. So one of the things that came back is we don't want to have our teachers come back and start working in July. Well, we were able to accommodate that. So in this option here, our teachers do not officially return back until August the 3rd. Our new teachers would come in on the very last week of July, but our returning teachers would not come into to work until August the 3rd. We also received feedback that we wanted to incorporate some potential student-teacher conference, or excuse me, parent-teacher conference days. We have one that we've been able to accommodate in the fall semester on the 18th of September, and also another one in February on the 19th of February. So we were able to accommodate for that. Another thing that was mentioned, they really enjoyed the fall break. So we were able to incorporate that as well. The 12th through the 16th of October is where it's slated on the calendar that you see here. Based off of some of the things that we also were able to get based on the new district that we were in, looking at the schedule, we were able to accommodate an early release on October the 2nd. That is one of the farthest travel games that we have, and that would be for us traveling to Ingram. So we were able to accommodate an early release day at that point as well. On this calendar option, the first semester would end on December 17th, and we would return back. One of the other things the teachers were mentioning was they really enjoyed this year how we had 2 staff professional development days when we came back in January. So we were able to accommodate that once again by the 4th and 5th being able to have a professional development, staff development days. Spring break, we were able to again have the second week of March as we have had consistent. We were still able to accommodate the Good Friday, Easter Monday, without having to work in any other additional makeup days. Interesting again to note, the other feedback point that we got is, well, we don't really want to have where we go into still having our students school days going into the month of June, but we were able to accommodate that as well. So we were able to have our last school day for students on May 27th, and again, a professional development staff day on the 28th of May. One unique thing that you will see from this year that wasn't on there for last year is we did want to get back to 187 teacher contract days. So in order for us to be able to do that, we built in 3 days of professional development exchange days. And so we will, if approved, we'll be able to establish very clear parameters in regards to what is eligible, what is not eligible for professional development exchange days. So as long as teachers would be able to complete those 3 days, then their actual last day would be the 28th of May, and they would not have to come in that first week of June. So in this particular calendar, we are exceeding the minimum required minutes by the state of Texas, the 75,600 minutes, and we are over that. So we do have built in 2.5 days. Should we have any bad weather days or any days that we would have where we would have to close schools down, we wouldn't have to make up any days, 2.5 days worth. So if we exceeded those, then we would have to come back and make adjustments, but we have 2.5 days built in already for us not to have to make up any days. So because we were able to accommodate what our feedback from the campuses and staff were telling us, we were able to accommodate. The second option that you see here doesn't have a tremendous amount of variance. And I will tell you the biggest variance that we did have was the start date for staff in August, whereas the option 1 had teachers go and start on August the 3rd. Option 2, they come back August the 4th. Where you have the last student and staff day in December the 17th on calendar option 1. On calendar option 2, they would go that full week in that week of December 18th, and they would have to come to that Friday before they would be able to get out for Christmas break. Other than that, because we did have, where we were able to accommodate pretty much all the things that we were hearing from our folks, that's the biggest difference between the 2 calendars. So we were able to, again, have the calendar subcommittee make a recommendation. That calendar subcommittee recommendation was for calendar option 1. We did take that to the DEIC, and the DEIC approved the recommendation of the calendar committee, and we are here tonight proposing for the 26-27 academic calendar option number 1 for school board approval. And again, it is the calendar that you see up on the screen at this point. Calendar option 1 is what we are having the DEIC recommend to the school board for approval this evening. If you have any additional questions, I would love to be able to answer any additional questions that you may have. If I didn't address anything, or if you're curious about anything, I would be able to answer those questions at this time.
Sir, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Martinez?
Yes, sir. As Mr. Pettis spoke in did y'all even, the IEC committee, ever consider all the UIL events versus, you know, the band itself?
Information was not brought to our attention. We didn't have that information on what day the actual UIL band competition, so we didn't have that information even to take into consideration.
Well, the only thing I say is because it happens every year now, so, and it happens during that month, you know, so whether we had that information or not, I think we should have at least thought about it, you know, asked, you know, whether y'all reached out to Mr. Perez or not, I'm not sure. But, you know, we know that it happens in a week in October, somewhere about that time. And they're usually involved in that UIL. So my concern is, you know, we're going to be limiting that program, not an individual, but a program of, you know, kids. You know, my question is, how hard is it to go back to the DIEC committee? You know, I don't want to be here like Natalia was last night or the night
And,
before.
sir, if I may interrupt,
Sure.
the board adopts the calendar, so you can make a change to it here now, and we can adopt that. So if
Okay.
you want to change any of the dates on it, you can make that. All we did is bring suggestions and recommendations with, you know, feedback that we had at the time. So if you have any questions about any other things that are going on the week before,
That'll be my next question.
we've got the principals here, and they can speak to it.
For UIL, we have cross country, we have volleyball, we have football, we have band going on. So though we didn't have specific dates, those are all things that we did talk about during the subcommittee and the DEIC. So it's going to affect somebody at all times. It comes down to the program and the planning behind that as far as the success that we're going to get during that week, because it's going to affect, we can move it the week up and it's still going to affect, you know, our volleyball, our cross country, you know, football. It's always, somebody's going to be affected, and it was very hard to come up with a calendar where you're going to please everybody and give everybody what they want. And so to answer your question, we didn't have the exact date, but it was something that was talked about as far as, you know, what it is that we could do. And the time was, that's the halfway point from the start of school to Christmas. So that was the exact halfway point. So I wanted to share that there's a lot of programs that are impacted.
I understand that. So the week before, the week after, there's events going on. And I see the football schedule, you know, there's things going on. And somebody asked me the same thing, you know, why are we doing this or whatever. I mean, it's, you know, we're punishing the band. You know, we go to spring break, track meets, softball, baseball, you know, they don't go anywhere. So, I mean, because they got to stay home. I'm just asking the question, you know, because I understand, you know, all of you are here, you know.
And there's no guarantee that we're always going to line up. So those students, you know, are, you know, having to sometimes take their classes while we are on break.
That's what I want right now. You know, y'all speaking up and saying what's,
So all of
you know,
that
affecting, you know, what else is
taken
affecting
into consideration.
other than just saying that we're going to approve it, you know, because we're going to hear, you know, like, why y'all approve this, you know.
Right.
And I understand, Mr. Perez, you know, but I also saw, you know, what's been happening for years, you know, the spring break. You know, baseball players, softball players, track, you know, and I don't know who else is affected during that time that don't actually have a vacation, you know, so.
And even before school starts, you know, band's out there. We're not changing our summer either. Band goes out there, football comes early, cross country starts early, volleyball starts early in the year. So it's really hard to accommodate, to be able to accommodate everything, to give everybody what they want. And so it was one of those, at the end of the day, when the committee talked about it, the subcommittee talked about it, they wanted a halfway point, and that was the halfway point. The first I heard of the date was today.
Okay. Besides that the educators enjoyed it or staff enjoyed the week, what else did we get out of it? The fall break.
So do you want to really, I can speak on because you mentioned it earlier, Mr. Gondara, in regards to the teachers and how they were actually able to, like, so I can tell you, they really did need that break in October. And for just mental health, I can't tell you just what I've seen, what I've heard, even outside other districts. Mental health is not a student thing. It's not it's everybody. It's administrators, it's teachers, and for us to give our staff that fortunate break in October, just even for just mental sanity and mental health, it was a very good thing. It was a blessing for them to be able to have that. So I don't have measurables for you in regards to how did it impact student outcomes. Was it a positive? I don't have those measures for you here this evening, but from what I can tell you just on what did it do for them, it was a good opportunity for them to get away for a little bit and to rest and recharge and get ready for the home stretch before they get into the Thanksgiving and the Christmas break. So.
And that's what I will hear, because, if that's the number one reason, I'm all for it, I mean, we're here to support our staff, our educators, our administrators, on that regard. And that's why we hired Camino Real as well, for our students and our staff, so we're definitely supporting them. Right, community schools, yeah, exactly. I mean, they've been with us for a few years already, so, I mean, I just want to make sure that, that we're taking care of them. That's why I asked earlier, what are we doing for them? And if this is a big plus, I mean, I'm never going to deny that week, so.
If I may,
Yes, ma'am.
one upside to this is you think about the kids having to go on a contest on a Saturday. It's very late. They've had a long week. Now they get a week where they can sleep in. They'll still get to practice. You don't have homework. You don't have tests. You can be singularly focused on what you've got going on, because we will still have volleyball on Tuesdays. I mean, they don't get a fall break. So we will still have games going on during that week. We will still have practices going on that week, but they won't have to juggle school and.
Right.
This doesn't mean that everybody can take off and go to Disney for a week. I mean, I would love it if we could shut everything down, but the reality is, during any break, if you're in an extracurricular, you've probably got a season going on. They don't get Christmas and Thanksgiving and spring break if they're in athletics, because those happen during the season. This just gives them a chance to not have school on top of all of this. They can still have practices. I know our principals had, children participating in this, and they said it was, it would have been nice if you had a week of just nothing, but that's not what this was intended. It was a break from school on top of everything else when it converges. October is one of our hardest months. The other one is February, as we're all living through right now, when all of the sports kind of converge. So this was a nice break, and yes, they can then focus just on that. You don't have to worry about, math and reading and science and homework and labs, but you can focus on this instead. Things that we can't do, and you can't punish kids for stuff like that. So that's something that, that we'll need to talk. Again, we had it this year, and so we'll talk about how do we approach it for next year.
This was done after, right before the school year started, where we changed the 4-day to include the summer break. And so that didn't give a lot of opportunities for the organizations, the parents. They already had kind of some stuff planned, and so that affected it. So with it coming out earlier, we're able to plan ahead, really think about what we want that week to look like for these programs, and make sure that it's successful for everybody involved.
And from a hiring standpoint, it's actually a good recruiting tool, because when we go recruit people, we're competing against people that have 4-day school weeks. What do we have to offer? Hey, we have a fall break that nobody else has. And so that's a really good recruiting tool as well. So taking that in consideration as well.
Great engagement. Glad I asked the question.
Say something that we can work with them is, you know, maybe you were going to practice an hour every day. What if you instead had just 2 days of an extended practice? You know, those are things we'll work with to make sure that we meet the UIL regs on that. But there's no saying that you couldn't say, hey, even the coaches and the adults, the directors get to take a few days break, but then we're going to have a more intense practice right before. So we can be creative with it. If we know that this is when it is, we can plan for it.
I think just in terms of staff, things that we could do for the staff, giving them, it's not always monetary, it's also to get the time. So giving them off the week for mental clarity and doing things that they need to do is a real big benefit for that fall break. Does anyone else have any questions or comments on this item?
I know other school districts, they actually earmark already a bad weather day. You know, I'm just wondering if maybe we could have just go ahead and done it initially, you know, up front.
We do not need
Yeah.
to. We have extra
Oh,
days.
well, yeah, I mean, we got 2.5 days over
Right.
that deal. I'm just saying if just earmark it, because I know some of them have even higher minutes than we do. They're still earmarked.
Mr. Gondar, we actually had a conversation about that earlier, and I'm still trying to figure out the reasoning why we would have bad weather days when we're exceeding the minimum amount of minutes. So usually it would be, you would designate those bad weather days, so those would be the days that you would actually come should you have a bad weather day.
Right.
But if you're exceeding the minimum, 75,600 minutes, then you're not required to make up that day. So it was a little bit, and I have a good hunch of which one you're referring to, but it was something that we wanted to build in so that we would not have to have our staff, lose either a Good Friday or Easter, because I've been in that situation before where, that was the bad weather day, and oh man, having staff come back after like Easter Monday was, it was rough. So it was rough. So we had horrible attendance after, because that was just something that, hey, we had to face. So realistically, we were able to accommodate 2.5 days into this calendar.
So there's really nothing different between the two other than the
Start days and the day
then
before
the
Christmas.
first day of the winter break, and then we have a half day for the football game,
Yes, on October the
which is
2nd.
the same on both schedules.
Yes.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions, comments, concerns? And if not, can I get a motion on this item?
You need an option?
They're recommending the option one.
One?
It's on the suggestion motion.
Well, I mean,
I make a motion to approve option one for the Pearsall ISD 2026-27 academic calendar.
Have a motion made by Mario Benavides. Do I have a second? Have a second by Diana Hughes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving to item 8E, date to canvass election results. Dr. Sport.
So we have a couple of election pieces that we need to do, and my apologies for that one being left off of your script for the consent. So if you all can move to pull that one out right after this, we'll discuss that. Wanted to bring this now because canvassing of the election results has a window. May 5th, if there are no provisional ballots cast, and the last permissible date is May 13th. And in order to meet the May 14th statutory deadline, that means we have to turn things in. So if we meet on the 13th, we'd have time the next day to turn things in. Our regular meeting is scheduled for the 20th, so that would mean we'd need to move it to the 13th to meet that deadline, which quite honestly would also be probably better for us because graduation is the 22nd. So that week, I'm sure will be filled with lots of celebrations and different banquets and events to attend. So we would need to move the board meeting to the 13th and have the 13th as our canvass day for the election results for this May election.
Do you have any questions or comments?
I do have a question, comment, in regarding to, I would love to, have the meeting on May the 13th, but before I make the motion, or somebody else makes the motion, I spoke to Dr. Spoor in regards to canvassing the election, which is law. Nothing we can do about that other than, you know, change it up or anything, just making sure that we canvass between those dates. But I did request, you know, it's been traditionally that as soon as the elections are over, you know, when we canvass the results, the election results, the new members get sworn in before the graduation. I would like to see that of course canvass the results, but keep the current board members on the board until after graduation, then swear in your new members. It can be done. I'm just asking, you know, that you know, I mean, we don't have to make a motion on that right now, just other than canvassing. We got time. It's just a suggestion for the next meeting. We could discuss that.
Mostly because we know
We worked
Ms.
all year
Benavides is not running for reelection, but we definitely want you on stage to celebrate this graduating class because you've been such an important part of their Pearsall experience for the last 3 years, and we don't want you to not be there
Right.
because of a 2-week window. So regardless of how they vote, you're getting an invitation, and we expect you to be up on that stage, shaking some hands and celebrating this class with us, please.
Right. And that's my portion of it, because I mean, who you see up here all year long from May through May, you know, those are ones that have been working with diligently with y'all, you know, including with the finance department on the budgets and hiring processes, everything. You know, it doesn't make sense. I mean, because we've been there every year where somebody new, I was newly elected as well. I sat there 2 months later, you know, because I was appointed the first time. But, you know, it doesn't, I think we all deserve that year, you know. So that's my my suggestion on that. So,
Thank you, Mr. Line. I appreciate that.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions, comments? And if not, can I get a motion for this? Have a motion made by Ronnie Benavides. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Lionel Gondura. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. And we will go back up to item 7D if no one else opposes. Appointment of early voting and election day judges.
Originally, it is in your consent agenda. My apologies that it was left off of your script right there. But we need to appoint judges for our upcoming election, and we have those up there for you in your board book if anybody has any questions on that. Our early voting judges would be Sandy Leal and John Lane. Our election day judges at Ted Flores Elementary would be Selena Corona Rodriguez, and an alternate judge is to be decided, also to be decided at the Moore Community Center. We are contracting with Frio County to run our elections, so some of that will have to go through them.
Question for the TBD judges to be determined. Will we have to, when they come appoint them or hire them, will we have to approve them later on, or?
I would like for you to have an opportunity to approve them. So the sooner we can get these folks approved, the sooner we lock in to having some judges.
Right.
And it's not as easy as you'd think to find some judges to do this. But for the early voting judges, it's important that we go ahead and get them in place. Salud. And then we will bring to you the name of the alternate judge and the judge for Moore Community Center for the election day, and hope to bring that next month.
Perfect. Anyone else have questions? And if not, can I get a motion on this item?
I make a motion to approve the early voting judges as presented and the election day judge as presented.
Have a motion made by Lionel Gondura. Do I have a second? Have a second by Diana Hughes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. time is now 8:31 p.m. and the board will adjourn into closed meeting in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074, consider the following. Discuss and consider the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and dismissal of a public officer or employee, to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee.